everybody, and thank you for tuning in and listening and watching The Real Short Box. My name is Donald, and to my right is Kevin, and just below is Jarrett, and in the catty corner there is Mr. Chris. And I'm going to do a little few things in the background, and while I do that, Kevin is going to do the introduction to let everybody know what we're doing and talk a little bit, and I'll be back shortly.
Oh, welcome everyone to this special episode, our St. Patrick's Day, our special Irish heritage episode of The Real Short Box. Now, 3 out of 4 of us here, actually maybe 2 out of 4 of us here actually have Irish blood in them. I know Jared's mixed with so many different things with him: Italian, Irish, German.
What a mutt.
Just two.
Okay.
Did you say douche at the end, Kevin? Did you say douche?
No, I did not say that. I did not say that. Come on.
That's pretty awful. I don't know why you would say that.
No, I would never say that. First of all,
Wow.
Jared is the 2021.
He's mixed with Irish, Italian, douche. Jesus, Kevin.
No. Come on now.
I've got 1/3 douche.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Look, no, don't
So
say
one
that,
sort
sir.
of thing that goes into a butthole.
Yeah.
Let me give respect, man, to the 2021 Central Valley, California Father of the Year, who is not a douche. He is an honorable father. He is a man who is the president and CEO of the Black Adam fan club. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Galante.
Hi, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Oh wait.
And then
We got to give him some music here. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Here.
Okay.
Good applause. Sorry about that, Jared.
Right,
No problem. And now, the High Sparrow of Texas, a man of many skill sets. He is Professor Chris Turner.
Thank you.
And of course,
Thank you.
the man who's behind the controls. He is the Wizard of Oz of The Real Short Box. He is the 1997 Mr. Teen Ohio. We can never forget that. He's Bruce Campbell's number 2 fan, Donald McKinney.
Donald time. Donald time, motherfuckers. What?
Whoa. PG-13. PG-13
Oh, PG-13.
language.
Not tonight.
PG-13
We're in
language.
Irish time now.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You have to go to stereotypical Irish.
We're getting pissed.
language. That's true. Wait. You guys told me a story about between the Scottish and the Irish. When one gets mad, you can't tell the difference.
Drunk.
The Scottish you can't understand. You're telling me something like that.
It's when the Scotsman gets drunk, you can understand him more. When an Irishman gets drunk, you can understand him less.
Ah, interesting.
Yes.
Because the Scotsman slows down and the Irishman speeds up.
It's very true.
Oh, well, that's how that works.
A
Extremely.
Scottish man will talk like this when they're drunk. We got
Such
a wee
Such
bit slower.
Very true.
Shrek when he said that.
Shrek does have a Scottish accent.
Or you could be like James Bond. You're pushy galore. Pushy. What? What is he saying? What? They're not pushy at all. Where's your pusher?
What's a pushy?
What did you say, Mr. Connery? What did you say?
I said pusher. He's fun.
But tonight we're going to discuss all things Irish. We're going to discuss everything from the trip to Ireland that Chris and Donald went on about, was it 5-6 years ago at this point?
We just did it. We just got back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yesterday.
5-6 days ago.
Yes.
Not bad.
About 6 hours ago.
Yeah, we
6
literally
hours
just got back. That's
Yeah.
why I'm
Wow.
wearing all this Irish stuff, Kevin.
You guys got skill like that.
No,
Yes.
look, surprise, I'm still in Ireland. See behind me? It's like Clifford Moore back there. I'm there right now.
What? Jeez, and it's not windy?
Surprise!
Wow, that's cool.
Also,
Posted to the
okay.
social media real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I posted to the social media so you can find us on Facebook and stuff, too.
All right, cool. We also going to be discussing Irish actors, Irish movies, especially Irish horror movies, which are really good, and Irish comic book characters.
Amish wants to see me do a jig.
Well, I don't know if you can do that. You might.
I don't think it'd be easy on this, Amish, so maybe not this time. Ricky, hello. You weren't in last week. I had your Blu-ray, buddy, and you were not in. Ricky won a prize a while back, because we do prizes once in a while for viewing our podcast. And Ricky won one, but he didn't. I left for a while and wasn't able to give it to him. And then the first week I was back, I forgot. And then last week he didn't show up, so I'll bring it again on Wednesday. So if you happen to be around, I will give you your prize, sir. I hope you like it.
Well, his first prize Ricky got, he is super happy with.
Yeah, the Kang shirt. We give away some cool prizes, I think. Like for a small live podcast like we are, we give away some cool shit, I think.
We sure do.
This is pure whiskey, by the way. And I like to mix it with more whiskey.
Yours is red, mine blue.
Crips and
Nice.
Bloods together again.
Ricky says he's been working and he's doing a show called Natural Products. Oh, well, I mean, we'll have to talk about that, Ricky, when I see you, because I don't know what you're talking about quite with that. Oh, hey, everybody. My mom and dad are on. Say hi to my mom and dad.
Hello, Mom.
Dad.
This is McKinney.
Father McKinney.
In Anaheim. Oh, Jesus. Anaheim's pretty far, Ricky. Okay, so I think we can get started pretty quick here. We're going to start talking about all things Irish. And the first section that we're going to be talking about is Irish films, if I recall. Is that correct, Kevin?
Yes, I talked about that last night. Some of the cool Irish horror films or Irish-based horror films. I know you showed me one of them a little bit a couple of years ago when I was at your house. It had the thing with the weird tentacles or something.
Yes,
The
Grabbers.
Yeah, Grabbers.
It had the dude from Coupling in it. Am I correct, Chris?
I don't know that movie. I don't unless it's the same movie I know of.
It's a TV show that they primarily based Friends off of.
No, I know Coupling. I don't know the movie you're talking about.
Oh, Grabbers?
Yeah, I don't know if
Really?
it's something.
You haven't
I've
seen it?
and I thought it was called something else or what?
Wait. All I heard
Shame.
was Kevin was at Donald's house and Donald showed him a tentacle thing.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
that's
wait, and it's
halfway
Irish, so
accurate.
I get it. Yeah, okay.
Uh-oh. We've got Maria. Hello. Sammy. Hello. Dino. Hello.
Yeah, Sandy.
Let's get started with some Irish coffee, he says. Dino says. Aiden's in. Hello, Aiden.
Aiden's playing actor from the 90s. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
so quick Irish
Yes,
story
Ed
with you
Wood
guys.
Is the guy from Coupling? Yes.
Before we get into a quick Irish story, I was on Kitchen Nightmares. I was on an episode of Kitchen Nightmares, and I was one of the audience, the food tasters in the restaurant after they reopened. Thankfully, I didn't go like when it was crap. I went after they reopened. It was called La Fritte, and it was on Ventura Boulevard. And I went in, and what they don't tell you is if you're a patron there, if you're eating there, you have to pay for everything, but you get on TV maybe, and that's it. Like, you have to wait 4 hours to get your meal usually.
Jesus.
I did not know, so I did not eat because I thought, well, I want to eat all my meal because I don't want it to look like I'm being rude, and I don't want to eat something. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat all this. Well, we're at like the first hour, and my server's like, hey, you guys want some drinks? I was like, well, what do you got? And he's like, well, I've got some really good, some wines and some beers and things if you want. I was like, okay. And so he goes and he gets us each a glass of wine. Second hour, he talks me into a beer. Third hour, we're switching over to hard liquor. We're doing exactly the opposite of what I should be doing in an opposite order. We're on the fourth hour right before, about 20 minutes before I get my meal. And he's like, would you like anything else to drink? You know, and he's like really happy with me and smiling and stuff. And I was like, oh, no, man. I said, I probably shouldn't. I was like, can you just get me a coffee? And he's like, yeah, I can get you a coffee, but you know what's better than coffee? And I said, what? And he leans in And like right in the side of my ear, he's like, "Coffee with a little whiskey in it." I was like, "This server's a raging alcoholic. I like your thinking." And so I ordered a coffee, an Irish coffee then, which is basically, for those that don't know, coffee with a little whiskey in it. It's an Irish coffee. And he was right. It was delightful, but it was a heavy pour, and I was drunk, and we couldn't drive home right away. So, end of story.
What's
So
the
that story is an episode didn't air because Donald was like naked in the background while he's eating his meal because he's so wasted.
Right, yeah, I was totally naked in the background. I was 3 sheets, man. Yeah, actually,
noodles are good.
I did get very loud in parts because I was really drunk. So they cut me out. You can see my nose and the rest of the people at my table. But I was like, you know what? I don't think this is as good as it should be. You know, like I was being extremely honest, and they did not want that, and I was too drunk to care. So we got a few more comments here. Christina says, "Long time no see, y'all."
See you.
Thanks for
How you doing,
joining.
Christina? Good to see you.
Hello.
Let's see. Sammy says, "Ha," and Christina says, "Working my buns off, but good. Glad to finally catch a show." Yeah, we're glad you could catch a show as well. And let's see here. I'm trying to figure out who that guy, what's his name, is in Grabbers. I can't remember.
He wasn't coupling. I looked it up.
Yeah, but what is his name?
Hold on.
Richard Coyle.
Yeah, his name is Richard Coyle, yeah.
Yeah. And Russell Tovey and David Pierce. A really good UK Irish cast. Very fun horror film. So, Kevin, continue with the Grabbers. I'm so sorry I interrupted.
Well, no, I remember very little of it, but I remember it was very interesting. These people were like in a house. The tentacles are coming through. I kind of remember like an old school 1950s horror movie, in a way.
Yeah, totally.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, hearing those Irish accents and them trying to figure out a way to survive the whole ordeal. What year did it come out in, by the way?
2012.
2012, so it's about 10 years ago.
Yep, about 10 years ago. Excellent film. For those that haven't seen it, it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it for anybody that just wants to enjoy themselves and watch a good. It's a horror film, but it's not like too gory, which is kind of my bag. Not too gory, just a lot of fun to watch and enjoy, and I just highly recommend it.
Evil Dead's your exception to the rule when it comes to gore, though.
Whew, that one's a little rough for me, man. A little rough for me, for sure. Evil Dead is, yeah. It gave me nightmares, I'm going to say that. I think I was like 18 at the time, or 22 or something when I watched it, so, Hello, Evan. Still in Kauai, or did you go to another island? And thank you for all those that are joining. We are talking about all things Irish, and right now we're talking about Irish horror films. So we just talked about Grabbers, which is an excellent film. Basically, the premise of the story is there's these creatures that came from somewhere, from the sea, I think, and or from space. I can't remember which, but they wash up on the ocean and they attach themselves to people and they try to take over the town. The only way you can avoid being taken over by one of these things that like suctions itself to you is by being drunk. So all of the town's members get together in a pub and they all have to stay hammered during this rainstorm because these things come on land when it rains because they like the wet and the moisture. So it's all about them surviving the night drunk together, and it is friggin' hilarious. I highly recommend it.
My queue.
What's that?
I'm adding that to my queue.
Yeah, see, you gotta watch it, Chris. You'll love it. Any other films, Kevin?
Well, one of my personal favorites is the first one out of about 6 movie franchise, Leprechaun, with my boy Warwick Davis. Oh, I love me some Leprechaun.
Let me pull up some pictures here of some of these things. I haven't been doing that. I've been very naughty. I'm sorry, audience.
Ooh, that's the wrong holiday to be naughty, sir.
Oh, I know.
Is Leprechaun an Irish movie, though?
I don't think it's made by an Irishman.
It's not in Ireland. It starts out in Ireland.
So I'm going to bring up Grabbers first. And I did not adjust the sizes prior. I'm sorry, everybody. I failed you there. So That's what Grabbers kind of looks like. That's a rendition, a drawing of the basic premise of the story. It looks really cool, right? So that's Grabbers. And Kevin's currently talking about Leprechaun with young Jennifer Aniston, if I recall.
Yes, you're correct. That's one of her early films. She actually made this movie 1 year before she got on the Friends TV show that would make her super famous and super rich and super popular.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember having Jennifer Aniston haircut in junior high because it was so popular. So I
look at him. Yeah. Look at that picture. He got himself a nice fresh beer. Look at that.
I'm sorry, I have to contest this movie. This movie was shot in California. Just because it's about a leprechaun is not an Irish movie made.
Yes, but it's
out in Ireland though.
But
they stole his pot of gold in Ireland.
It is a very Irish film in that way, in that it's celebrating the spirit of the leprechaun, albeit in a negative connotation. So some could say it's even racist. And for a black man in today's era to bring up something like that, yes, it could be very controversial. And in fact, I want to keep saying controversial because maybe somebody will pick this up and put this on the news, controversial, and they'll have our podcast advertised, controversial, and we'll get more views. Controversial.
That's controversial. Cancel culture, woke. Woke, cancel culture, controversial.
Yes. As much as we can say it. Let's see. Sammy says Byzantium with Gemma Arteriton and sorry. I can't pronounce these names, Sammy, so I'm not...
Byzantium with Gemma Arterton.
It is. What is
she was in Quantum of Solace. She played one of the ladies in Quantum of Solace.
Oh, great. Maria says, haha, I had the Jennifer Aniston haircut in junior high, too. I looked goofy. And then Dino says The Devil's Doorway is an awesome modern-day Irish classic. Devil's Doorway. Good recommendation, Dino.
I gotta put that on my list.
Oh, it's a vampire movie. Well, we have one more horror, right, that you wanted to talk about quickly?
Actually, it was you. You brought it up. I think it was Rawhead Rex of it.
Yeah. You. Basically, this film was written by Clive Barker, if I recall. Or, was it Clive Barker? Maria, do you remember? Was it Clive Barker or was it, what's his name?
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven, yeah. I can't remember which one.
I always get those guys mixed up.
Me too. I'm trying to make this picture smaller, but it's huge on the screen. And I do apologize to everybody. It is this huge picture.
That's a scary-looking monster.
Still better looking than seeing Donald, so keep it up.
There we go. Got it. Now it's a little smaller there for you. Scorch says, in 1993, Jennifer Aniston played a woman who was kind enough to fall in love with a double-leg amputee in Quantum Leap. And he was also wanting a Shamrock Shake, so there's that.
Shamrock Shake. Yeah, McDonald's.
Okay, Maria says Clive Barker. So yeah, it was Clive Barker. He wrote this script for this story, and he doesn't actually claim it, by the way. But if you watch it, it's pretty fun. It's just about this this creature that comes out at certain times of like centuries or some shit, and it's tied to the church and Catholicism or whatever, and it's in Ireland, and it's a fun little horror film that we discovered a few years back and watched, I believe in 2020. So Rawhead Rex is the name of this one. I'm going to type it in.
Rawhead Rex. It's a good name.
And I think Rawhead was one word, if I recall.
You want a horror movie, you got to watch Darby O'Gill, The Little People, and watch Sean Connery try to be Irish.
Yeah.
That's a whole show right there.
Alex, thanks for joining. Janet, thanks for joining. By the way, everybody in the audience, I've got a little treat for you tonight. Anytime you feel that we deserve, now we can't do it every 2 seconds because we'll get hammered and we won't be able to continue, but every time you feel like, and it's a consensus, and you guys feel like we deserve to have a drink, just mention drink in the chat. I will sound the alarm, which will be the DJ air horn, and all of us will have a lovely shot of most likely beer or cider, because again, we have to continue the podcast. We can't be doing shots of whiskey the whole night, or you're going to get more than full Donald. You're going to get complete trash Donald, and you don't want that. So
you're going to get the guy named Monty. Donald.
I'm sorry. What was that, Jarrett?
Oh, I said you're going to get kitchen nightmares, Donald.
Yes, right.
Or we're going to meet a guy named Monty.
The full Monty.
Monty.
Full Monty, yes, that's true. I do like to take my clothes off when I drink. Uh-oh, it's already started, guys. Bring on the chaos we have in the chats. Here we go. Pour yourself a little bit. Mine will be the lovely Irish delicacy here, the Guinness. So give me a second for that.
Mine will be this lovely beer, the color of Irish people's hair. Red's Red Hard Apple Ale.
I'm 100% sober these days, so I'm going to act as if I'm taking a drink because I'm such a great actor. Watch this.
Yeah, perfect. That was excellent.
Angry Orchard Hard's green apple cider I have here.
Down the old gullet here. Hope everybody enjoys. What'd you have, Chris?
I've Red's Hard Apple Cider or Hard Apple Ale.
Okay. Mine's delightful. Everybody said drink. Jeez, guys. Amish is laughing. Drink, you fools. Naked Dawn, Amish says. Entertain us. Drinking wine with y'all. Oh, thanks, Christina.
It's so stereotypical, isn't it?
Sammy left Tuammore Dew over here, and I may have noticed. Yes, she did, actually. In the 1990s, there was a game called Melrose Drink, and every time the bar shooters appeared on screen, you had to take a drink. Nice. And Jarrett is SXE? Sexy? I don't know. Oh, well, okay. Well, whatever.
Jared, sexy?
We'll just say you're sexy, Jarrett. Just leave it at
my
that.
Thai prostitute friend? Jared.
I also have a lovely cup of tea in my Irish mug, my shamrock mug, so cheers to that with the lovely tea.
Where'd you buy that thing? It looks pretty cool.
Bought it off Amazon.
Oh.
I got a bonus from work, and I was able to afford a mug, so, you know, that's nice. All right, so, Rawhead Rex. Anybody have any questions? It's a pretty fun horror film. I would say it's more gore than Grabbers, but it's like dated gore, so it's not like something that's going to make you too squeamish or anything. It is a lot of fun. It's a fun little film. Highly recommend it. Rawhead Rex, check it out if you can. It's not the easiest to find. I think we had to purchase it on Amazon Prime to rent it, I think, at the time. So check that out if you can. And let's move on. I guess we could talk a little bit about, since Kevin just talked about something. Chris, is there something you want to bring up or talk about? Christopher?
You caught me off guard.
Christopher.
I'm here. Am I that drunk already that I'm invisible?
Yes. I actually, Chris, while you think about it, I want to play a little ditty for everybody. That anybody that has this, anybody that has a drink in front of them that's in the chat, have a drink and listen to this. If it plays. It may not play. It's definitely not playing.
Oh, no.
That's bad news, Kevin. Bad news. I didn't check ahead of time.
That link should be good.
It is not working. All right.
Oh.
So it might start playing in the middle of whatever we're talking about, so just bear that in mind. Because I'm not able to get it to stop trying to play. That's the problem. Yeah, it's really. Maybe if I switch. Yeah, I'm going to switch. Let's see if this one works. Alright, that's not working. Let's try this. Oh, okay, so that one works. Great. We wish you Merry Christmas.
Well, we're kind of jumping a little early, but Merry Christmas, everybody.
Alright, everybody, have a drink. Because it's that kind of a Monday.
Like eggnog?
Oh, that's okay, Evan. We understand. I'm on Kauai and spreading the good word of the Real Short Box. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Alright, that's good. That's good. We all enjoy our drinks here. This song gets pretty hectic if I recall, so I'm going to hurry up. Okay, there was that. So we tried. Aggressively relaxing says, I've had the first drink. Should I have another one when it begins? Yeah, why not? Does Gatorade count? Says my mother and father. Yes, it counts, I guess. Sure. Drunk
Those
chat, drunk
electrolytes
hosts equals hilarity, says Alex. What'd you say, Jarrett?
I said those electrolytes will F you up. So, yeah, get
Yeah.
that Gatorade going.
We will bring you some figgy pudding, aggressively relaxing. Alex says drink. Well, Alex, we just drank, so I don't know if you want us to drink more or what's going on. So we're just going to continue on. Chris, did you have something you wanted to talk about?
Let's talk about this little ditty behind me.
Okay, that's the Cliffs of Moher, if I recall.
Yes, that is the Cliffs of Moher. Donald and I took a trip to Ireland a couple years ago and shot a movie while we were there.
We did.
Yeah, and we went to Cliffs of Moher. And we almost all got blown off the Cliffs of Moher.
Also true.
It was the windiest I have ever. Even the wind was so strong that even I had to walk sideways.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Go forward.
Yeah.
Now this is the place where Frodo drops the ring, and
pretty much.
Everybody.
Kevin, did you grab a picture of the Cliffs of Moher or no?
Yeah, you should have one in there.
Yeah.
If not, it's literally right behind me.
Okay, I see it. I'm gonna pull it up here. I've got a picture of the Cliffs of Moher here. Everything's a little bit staggered right now, guys, so bear with me on this. I do apologize.
While you're pulling that picture up, while you two were there, did you feel like you saw enough of them, or did you want to see
more?
More.
Well, it's pronounced, or it's spelled Mohar.
Yeah,
so
Moher.
It may be Mohar, or I don't know quite how you pronounce it with the Irish lilt, but Americans call it the Moher. The Cliffs of Moher. Yeehaw!
Alex says nice reference. Dino says just had a black and tan. Now I can truly understand you young fellows. Yeah, Chris and I went on this trip in 2016. We went to Ireland. I had the prestigious honor of driving us everywhere because the car is so small. Chris had a little trouble getting behind the wheel. Every time he turned, it moved the wheel. So we couldn't do it that way because otherwise when he'd move the wheel, he would be turning this way and moving into me, and I'd be squished against the side. It was a very small car. Let me say that again, a very small car. So I ended up having to drive, and they drive on the wrong side of the road. And we're in Doolin, where the Cliffs of Moher is. And Doolin is an extremely small seaside town. And we're talking about, to get up the hills in some places, it's a one-way road, but two cars still try to fit on it. And I'm on the wrong side trying to get over far enough without driving us into a ditch. So, and it doesn't sound as hard, but when you are driving on the other side of the road, on the other side of the car, it is gut-wrenchingly nervous. Like, it just creates so many nerves in you. I did the best I could. I think I did all right, Chris. I only, lost my shit a couple times over the trip.
Yeah, we only argued 7 times, I think, in 3 days.
Yeah, so that wasn't too bad. Marique did not appreciate that so much, but she doesn't understand the nature of our relationship. So that's what we do. We argue at each other when we get frustrated. We're like an old married couple. So anyway, we get to the Cliffs of Moher. It's beautiful, but the wind is so high. There's this beautiful little dog that we have no idea who owns the dog, and the dog's just running around, and he's running over, and he jumps over what we think is the cliff. And we run to the edge freaking out, thinking, oh shit, this dog just committed suicide.
Welcome to Ireland.
And we can't see him, and then suddenly we hear some barking, and here there's another part of the cliff underneath, like a sub-cliff, that he knew about. And when he jumped, he landed on it and was running back and forth, and then ran back up the other side and came around and was like, hey, guys. And we were like, where were you? What's going on?
What's crazy, in Scotland or England, there is a bridge that's famous for that, or infamous for that, where dogs just, for some reason, they just jump off the bridge and commit suicide.
Suicide dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really is something to that. For some reason, the dogs just jump off and kill themselves.
Yeah.
Why that's hilarious.
If I remember correctly, correctly, driving on that road you're talking about, the one-way curvy road, didn't we encounter a donkey on the side of the road?
Absolutely, and he gave us a look, man. He was not a happy
What a
dog.
jackass. Oh, I'm here all night. Thanks.
Yeah, he was a pretty salty donkey, but he was very cool. We took some pictures of him. He let us. He was very happy. Very regal. He was probably the most regal-looking donkey I've ever seen, to be honest. He looked like royalty. He looked like his owners took care of him, or he was the owner and he took care of the land around him. I couldn't tell which, to be honest.
You like the Shrek donkey? The donkey from Shrek?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Kind of. Alex says the dog was probably drunk, and Irish dogs have issues. Is it the wrong side or just the opposite side? Well, for me, it was definitely the wrong side, but also the opposite side. So you could see both, I guess, Christina. Yeah, I think they did go to Doolin, Chris. You're right. And Aggressively Relaxing. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Did film there recently. I think their whole season's there in Ireland, which is really cool, and I need to check it out. I have yet to do so. But that's the Cliffs of Moher. So let's move on from a little travel. Now, while we were in the Cliffs of Moher, we happened to hear of the primary reason we went there was not just for the cliffs. In the town of Doolin, it is a secret fact to the locals, but if you get out as a tourist and you spread the word, then it can get around, and that's what happened. I met a girl, and she told me a secret. She said in Doolin, at night, pretty much every night, she said the locals from the town, the fishermen and the seamen and stuff like that, seamen, they all get together at night with their instruments, not their penises, with their instruments, and they jam out. They play like Irish music and shit, and it's true. So we found one bar, and we went to the first one, and it just felt like a Chili's or something, and we were like, this can't be it. And certainly it was not it, because it was very family friendly and everything, and it sucked. So we left thinking we were told wrongly, and it was going to be terrible. And we walked to the farthest bar from us in town, the pub, and we get clear to the end of this pub, and it's a really old rickety pub, and we get in there. And they're like, what would you like? We just made some Guinness stew. We have a fresh batch, hun, if you'd like some. And Chris and we were like, we would be delighted. And she's like, oh, it comes with brown bread and fresh butter if you would like it there, lad. And we were like, yes, we would love the brown butter and the brown bread and the butter. So we got this Guinness stew, this delicious Guinness stew. If you go to my Instagram, you can see pictures of it. I took many because I loved it so much. And then we got a couple pints, and sure as shit, it wasn't more than about 40 minutes into the night that the people, the townsfolk, started to pull out their instruments, and they all started freaking jamming out at the bar. And then we moved closer to them, Chris and I and Marique, and we all got into this area, and we were just watching them jam out. And we were drinking and eating our stew and just having a great time. So Doolin is a wonderful place, not only for the cliffs, but for the townsfolk and the music, but also for the caves.
And I think it was cold, and it was really cold walking to that. The sun was like going down, and it was rainy.
Yep.
And we've been traveling all day.
It had been freezing rain earlier in the day, by the way.
But that stew was the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I don't know if it was just the situation, the circumstances, or if it just was the greatest stew on earth.
It was great. Sammy says, to be fair, there are a lot of bridges like that. So let's talk really quickly before we move on. We just want to talk about and Doolin was spelled Doolin, correct, Chris? If I'm right?
I think so.
Doolin, Ireland. Let's see. I'm just going to see if it pops up.
Yeah, it's Doolin.
L-A-N, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to bring that up in the chat and bring that over for a picture so we can do that. Now, I'm going to pull up a picture of just the town of Doolin. I believe Kevin so graciously provided us with that picture as well. So I'm going to just show you what the little town looks like. It's actually quite cute. There it is. And this is actually the more touristy section. It's very colorful. And that's where you can get things like this lovely Irish hat. Produced in Ireland. You can see that. So we have lovely hats like this that Chris and I both bought. And they have the caves there. Now, some of the clay in Doolin, the caves, is over 1 million years old. And they used this clay to make pottery. And they sell the pottery in the gift shop there, in the Doolin Caves gift shop. And Chris and I both bought mugs. Chris, would you be so kind to show them your beautiful mug that you brought back from Doolin? How great it is. It's a 1 million year old mug, guys, made with 1 million year old clay, cast in Ireland there by a great sculptor. I also have one. Little story about mine, though. I was very careful to get it home. Then on the airplane, I had to move some things around, and I ended up moving the mug near the front of the suitcase. I get dropped off. I get in front of my apartment, and I'm at the gate, and I'm fumbling looking for my keys. My suitcase falls over, and I hear a crack. And I instantly know that, yes, my mug did not make it home from Doolin. So my 1 million year old clay mug is just a pencil holder right now. Change, spare change, stuff like that. But this is a great reminder to always protect your treasures when you're traveling. And that means your balls and your vagina as well, everybody. And I've only had one shot, so.
Sad story, Donald.
It's a very sad story. I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring everybody down. But the town is beautiful. Look at it. All the bright colors and stuff. It's really a wonderful town. So highly recommend it for those that are traveling to Ireland. Amish, wink, wink. And Maria, wink, wink. And Sammy, wink, wink, maybe. I don't know. Possibly. If you go, Doolin is a wonderful place because they have the caves, they have the cliffs, and the townsfolk, and the food. And they have a wonderful bed and breakfast. Chris ever remembers it, we'll post it on our Facebook page to tell people so they can stay there. Because they also had utes, I think, correct, Chris, as well?
Sorry, what?
Utes? What were they, like tents?
Yurts?
Yurts, that's it, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it. Yeah, so they have those as well that you can rent.
No, if you go to the caves, just know this. There's a lot of stairs. I nearly died 4 times. It's the largest stalactite in the Western Hemisphere. Or Northern Hemisphere. I can't remember what it is.
I think it's the northern.
It's a stalactite somewhere. And it's a lot. It was like 22 flights of stairs.
Jesus.
It's like walking up.
Like
walking up a skyscraper.
Yeah, it's a lot of stairs. Chris was a real trooper. I took a few pictures of him after he came out from walking up those stairs. I sadly don't have them available now, but I can also put those on the Facebook page, Friends of the Real Short Box. So those of you that want to see Chris in all his wonderful fucking kill me glory, I can post that, and you can view that and have a good chuckle as well. So that's Doolin. And now
motto is pretty great too. You come for the stew, but you stay for the suicidal dogs. Yeah, I think that is it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yes, it's in Scotland too, by the way.
Alex says drinking will make the pain easier to cope with. I don't know quite what you're saying, Alex, but I get you. And
he wants us to drink, is what he's.
I think that's what he's hinting at, but nobody's joining him on it. Hakeem says my dad claims to be part Irish. He does have green eyes, at least. So let's move on from that. A little less talk about that, and let's talk a little bit more. What else do we have? Do we have? Want to talk about some comic books then, guys? Jarrett, would you like to do that?
What about Jarrett?
Should we talk about the famous Cassidy family of Marvel Comics?
You mean like the guy Banshee and his brother Black Tom Cassidy?
Actually, it's his cousin. His cousin
cousin. Sorry, cousin's Black Tom.
And his daughter, Siren. Yeah. I mean, when you think of Irish characters, that's kind of the main guy I'd go to is Banshee and that whole family.
It's so stereotypical too. The Banshee, like just the wailing scream.
Yeah. Well, Marvel wasn't very inventive. Well, they always went straight to, all comics kind of went straight to the stereotype for, I think there was another Marvel character that was like called Shamrock, but he's been part of the X-Men forever. His daughter Siren's been on teams forever. Black Tom actually has been like a huge part of the current X-Men story because his power, which was one of the most lame mutant powers ever, he could conduct energy, but only through wood. And yes, you can make all the jokes now. Like literally, he carried a shillelagh, and then he could shoot like energy through it. But they finally made him badass by like he basically became like a tree, and he could like do everything now because he's all
plant manipulation.
Yeah, he's one giant hard piece of wood.
And who's this?
Who am I looking at? I don't have the
What
pictures in front of me.
I mean, what's his name? The character you're talking about?
Banshee?
Oh, Banshee. Oh, no, Black Tom Cassidy.
Okay.
Oh, Black Tom Cassidy.
I just want to make sure because you started talking about Black Tom, I believe, and I wanted to switch over to his picture.
Yeah, Black Tom. He had a feud with his brother Banshee, or no, his cousin Banshee, and Banshee had a daughter that he didn't know about, and Black Tom actually raised her to be kind of like a criminal, and had her. So Siren was a bad character for a while. She's a bad girl, and then she went on. Yeah, saw the light, found out her dad was Banshee, and she ended up becoming a member of X-Force, and she's been in. All those characters are like since the 60s, 70s, and 80s, so they've been around for a long time.
Yeah. So
if we want
Siren. So Siren and Banshee basically have the same powers, and since Black Tom's a cousin, he has this power of wood. So if manipulation, if Black Tom fought Swamp Thing, who do you think would win?
I think I'd go with Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
I'd go with Swamp Thing because he had those powers like from the get-go. Black Tom kind of evolved into his like the power set that he's at now. But Swamp Thing's like always been like part of the green and the swamp and all that stuff.
Janet says, have you all seen the classic movie Brigadoon? No.
I haven't. Yes. I've heard of it, though. I've heard of it.
I have. It's pretty great.
Yeah?
If you've ever seen Schmigadoon, it's kind of what Schmigadoon was parodying.
No,
now you're just making stuff up.
I think he's making stuff up, yeah.
Schmigadoon, very good show on Apple TV. If you guys have it, check it out.
I like Figadoon. I think that's fun.
I got a question. Though you comic book people, I was researching comic book characters a little bit, like Irish characters earlier, and I came across a character called the Gay Ghost.
No, I've never.
Oh yes, I've heard of it. The Gay Ghost.
No, I've never heard of the Gay Ghost.
It's a DC villain. I was just wondering if you guys knew anything about him because I didn't see much.
Did they not change his name to the Gentleman Ghost later?
I think so, because I know it came out like in the early 40s. It goes back to the Golden Age, that character.
Or possibly it could be a different one, because I remember there was one called the Gay Blade.
Okay.
And then I think that one may have changed to the Blue Blade, or that was a separate character from the Blue Blade. I can't remember, because these all got pretty convoluted in the Atlas days with Marvel and stuff. Right. And I think
Gentleman Ghost, I think, was always Gentleman Ghost, though. But I think he is he's like a Golden Age character. He's an old character.
Well, looking at it here, the Gay Ghost had the ability to leave a particular person's body, his host body, and at will, he can materialize and dematerialize at will. Apart from that, he's just a keen swordsman and a hand-to-hand fighter.
Is Zorro the Gay Blade? Alex is saying that Zorro is the Gay Blade. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's
Zorro was the Gay Blade. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I remember then. And then the Blue Blade was Atlas between Timely and Marvel, if I recall. The Blue Blade was Atlas, I think, or maybe he was Timely. He's an old character. I know that because when Marvel, I think it was Straczynski, wrote a series called The 12. It was like a 12-part miniseries.
Yeah,
he brought back all those old-time characters that were just forgot about and used them in there. It's actually a really cool series. If you haven't read it, it's called The 12. Highly recommend it, like highly. Straczynski knows his shit when it comes to these types of stories. It's really good, guys. Really good. So I really like that.
Hey, Jarrett, you should tell him about the other Cassidy, although not related to these Cassidys.
Oh, that's right. So this character behind me, Cassidy from one of my favorite comic book stories ever, Preacher. I think a lot of people, I don't know how many people watched the show. The actor who played Cassidy was great, and he did the character really well. But I just couldn't get into the show. It just had a totally different vibe than the book. But in the book, he's an Irish vampire, and he's not played like any vampire you've ever seen. It's just like by happenstance he's a vampire. He's just a drinker, a womanizer, but a super loyal friend to a point. I don't want to spoil anything, but his relationship with Jesse Custer, the preacher, it's just such a cool. They just instantly become like fast friends, and he's just such an interesting character. He's funny, but he's got pathos to him, and he's created by Garth Ennis, who created The Boys, created Preacher, created another Irish character. He's Irish himself, so he if he can throw in an Irish character, he will. And Cassidy was one of the greats, I think.
Yeah, Cassidy's a great character. I actually really liked the actor that played Cassidy in the series. I thought he was one of the better actors in the entire thing.
I thought he was the best part. Yeah.
Joseph Gilgan?
Yeah. Thank you. I very much enjoyed his performance. I thought it was great. And Preacher itself is fun enough, but since it was like on almost network TV, it still didn't push the envelope as much as The Boys is currently pushing the envelope on Amazon, because they have more freedom to do that in Amazon.
Yeah, and if you've never read Preacher, it's just got a feel to it that I've never felt from like a comic story. So, and I just don't think that the show captured that. So I'd highly recommend reading the story. I think it's like 10 trade paperbacks. It's pretty.
Let's see. Alex, yeah, I definitely think you should read Preacher. I think you'd enjoy it, at least. It's really fucked up, so I think you would like it. Josh says he looks like Johnny Cage. He does kind of in this picture. And Dino says, I love Banshee and the Byrne X-Men run. Yeah, they actually gave him something to do then. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Any other Irish characters in comics that you'd like to talk about, Jared?
We could do one more Garth Ennis creation for DC Comics. It was Tommy Monahan, the Hitman.
Not Agent 47, right?
What's that?
Not Agent 47, right? Do you have that other Hitman comic?
No. This was a Hitman. This character came in the 90s. He was the only solid thing that came out of that really terrible Bloodline story, where like they were trying to, DC Comics was the 90s. They were trying to create a bunch of new characters and just have hot characters, and none of them took off except for Hitman. And basically, he was a ex-Marine, an Irishman or Irish. Yeah, he was Irish, from Ireland, but he was a Marine. He actually was a hitman for the mob, but he had a code. He would only kill bad guys, so he wouldn't kill kids, women, anything like that. Nobody that was gonna, he had his code, kind of like The Professional. Have you ever seen that movie? And then he gets these powers through some weird alien thing, and and the powers weren't even like crazy. He had like minor telepathy, so he could kind of read minds, but it also like gave him a headache. And then he had X-ray vision, and it made his eyes look all crazy, like he just had black pupils. And he was just a fun character, and the story actually it had a good run. I think it went for like 50 or so issues.
I think you're right. It did have a really good run. There's an episode or an issue, where he crosses over with Resurrection Man.
Yeah, that's where I actually first read him, and it's great.
Resurrection Man's a character that each time he dies, he comes back with a different superpower. So Hitman wanted to have Resurrection Man have a particular superpower, so he just kept fucking shooting him every time he came back to life and killing him until he came up with the right power. Yeah, and it was really messed up.
And it was like panel to panel, so he'd like shoot him in the head, and he'd wake up, he'd be like, "What can you do?" And he's like, and he creates like these like beautiful rainbow butterflies, and like somebody's like, "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," and then it's just blam.
Yeah,
so, like is that.
It's very clever.
Now,
very
one of our first episodes, we had a good time with that character and the Legion character in an old school SmackDown 5 years ago.
Oh, that's right. It was like the unending battle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Alex asked, "Isn't Bullseye Irish?"
Yeah, I think he is.
I think you're right.
I'm American Irish, yeah. Oh wait, we got one more actually.
That's right. We do have one more.
We do.
He's the most important,
most
famous Irish character of all.
We do have one more, but before we get to that, let's just put in a. We have to. What is that? Let me think about it. It's It's time to drink, gentlemen. We are doing this one for Mr. Razor Ramon. So,
I have his theme song somewhere. We have it somewhere.
Rest in peace, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon.
That guy. Yeah.
And
Dude.
also,
what for the bad guy?
Also, rest in peace to General Thunderbolt Ross as well.
Oh yes, William Hurt, another great actor who passed away yesterday. And also Sesame Street, the gentleman on Sesame Street as well.
Louise from Sesame Street.
Yeah, Louise.
Oh, God. Okay.
Damn. All right. Okay. Get another shot ready, guys. Kevin, don't back out on this one.
No, of course not.
You brought it up. It's your fault. You kept your mouth shut. You wouldn't have to do it.
Hey, you know.
Jesus. All right. Next one. Here we go. Gross. Okay. Moving on from Hitman, who's a great character, and if you haven't read the comics, highly recommend it. His crossovers were usually a lot of fun. I think he crossed over with Batman. I think Superman at one time. Definitely did with Resurrection Man and a few other characters as well. I think the Demon, because he made his first appearance in the Demon Annual from the 90s. I think it was the Annual number 1 or number 2. I think it was number 1. Could have been number 2. I'm not 100%. But it was during the Bloodlines. He's the only character to come out of Bloodlines to actually be of any good that anybody wanted to use later. So Hitman was a great creation from the Bloodlines era where aliens would attack and certain people had enzymes or some shit in their body, and when they attacked them, they didn't die. It mutated them and made them super powered and
like triggered their power. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Silly, but you know, Marvel was doing the same thing, and DC, not one to rest on their individuality, thought, well, we better do the same. And okay, so the next character in the last but not least category, I believe, as far as Irish characters are concerned.
Matt Murdock.
Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Somebody mentioned Bullseye, made me go, oh yeah. Yeah, Matt Murdock, straight out of Hell's Kitchen, which was, originally a really big Irish area for New York. Now I think it's just like another trendy area or whatever. And I don't think they call it Hell's Kitchen anymore either. I think it's got a whole another area name.
It's actually called Hell's Bucket.
Yeah, Hell's Bucket.
Yes,
Hell Satchel.
And if anybody knows what Hell's Bucket is a reference to, I'll have 2 shots right now. If anybody can state what Hell's Bucket is a reference to, it's a movie. I'll give you that.
Donald, the shot's got to be of Tuammore Dew, not of beer.
Okay, I'll do 1 shot of Tuammore and 1 shot of beer, if you get
That's
it.
Fair.
That's fair. Okay.
But yeah, Daredevil.
Doing with you. Yeah. Solidarity, Donald.
I'm sorry, everybody's talking. What?
I said I'll do one with you if they can.
Okay, great, excellent. And Jared, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, Daredevil's the man. He's a great character. Obviously, he came to life in the legendary Frank Miller, Klaus Janson run. It was just still holds up.
Damn you, Alex! I son of a bitch.
Get it?
Yes, he got it.
What's
Cabin Boy, Chris Elliott is on the boat, and they go to Hell's Bucket. Okay, so for this one, a little story. Let me bring it up. We're going to switch over anyway, and we're going to go travel time.
And that movie's almost 30 years old.
So I'm going to put that up on the screen, and we're going to move on to a little town. I may have brought it up. Let's see if Kevin did, yeah. We are going to go to the town of Tuammore. Now, Tuammore is a town that we traveled through actually on our way back from, if I recall, it was Galloway. We were on our way back from there and headed back over towards Dublin in our travels and our driving when we stopped in Tuammore and realized
we saw a double rainbow.
Yes, that's true. We did see a double rainbow in Ireland. It was kind of perfect. We have pictures of it too. Tuammore Dew. Now, Chris and I both have a bottle in front of us today. The special thing about this, when we went, we didn't take the tour because when you went there and you did a tasting, it was basically like a tour because they told you everything about it. And we had already done so many distillery tours in the past. We were like, let's just skip the tour. We'll get the whiskey after the tasting and we'll sit down and relax, which is what we did, if I recall, Chris. And so Chris was like, I really want to get a shot glass or something from here, but I don't have the money, because we were running low on money at this point because we'd spent so much time in Ireland because we loved it. And so we may or may not have accidentally dropped one of the glasses into his bag. So Chris is sipping out of a wonderful Tuammore Dew glass, and I will be sipping out of a purchased Tuammore Dew shot glass from the distillery. So we did give him some money. I did not buy this there. They had it there. It just came out new at the time. It's the cider cask. I highly recommend, if you're going to get a Tuammore Dew, if you're going to get a whiskey in period, especially for St. Patrick's Day, Tuammore Dew, the Irish cask, you can still find it in some liquor stores. I think Mission Wine and Spirits is a independent company in Southern California that you can find it at, or you can find it at maybe, hopefully, your local liquor store wherever you're at, in whatever town you're at. It is the cider cask finish, and it is wonderful. So, Chris and I will...
What's the percentage on that one?
This one is 40%.
And the one I'm drinking, guys, is 55% alcohol.
Oh,
55%.
Yeah.
Yours
This
is
trying
to get hammered, man?
Limited edition. It is bottle number 1610940.
Oh, good lord. That's a lot.
Work tomorrow, Chris.
Yeah, it has a kick to it. High strength, non-chill filtered. Limited edition. It's a unique high strength triple distilled Irish whiskey enriched in a pot still filled in old Oloroso sherry casks.
And this one is a old whiskey barrels which have previously held fresh pressed Irish cider at the early stages of fermentation, which imparts a sweet, fruity vibrancy to the whiskey.
If it's one of the ones we had in the tasting, it was delicious.
Here we go.
Also, there's one key ingredient that a lot of people don't know, and that's the saliva of suicidal dogs.
They gather. That's good.
I can't get over suicidal dogs anymore. I'm sorry.
All right, so
I'm sorry.
air horn for Alex. And since Alex won, here we go. Chris, toast to Alex. Smooth as silk, baby. All right, and now...
Sorry, I need a water chaser.
Oh, Hakeem's drinking Red Breast whiskey. Nice. And Alex thinks Chris is getting trashed.
Yeah,
Alex
can't go to work tomorrow the way this is going, Chris.
Alex says my wife stole a glass from Emerald Comic Con once at the bar where they had ECCC pictures. Nice, dude. Cheers to her, huh? Chris, let's cheers to his wife.
Kevin, I'm in Texas. Most teachers go to work drunk.
Wow, so the governor allows that? That's amazing.
Dead says 55%.
Yeah.
And Alex thinks your reaction was great. And Sammy says, man, Jared is wasted.
Yeah, I'm pretty messed up. I get quiet when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And angry.
Alex says, that's why I married her. Ha ha ha. Nice. So, highly recommend if you get time. Just for the music alone, Galway is great. I will say they have a shit ton of roundabouts inside the city, and the streets are small. So remember that. If you're driving there, it is extremely hard to navigate, and you will have probably a few flip-out moments, like me. And it is not parking friendly, so you will most likely have to pay to park. It's a very small town, and there's not a lot of parking spaces. So they do have parking garages, but every place charges. So you will pay through the nose for parking. But
if I remember correctly,
oh, you're paying through the nose for Red Breast Irish whiskey. My God, look at the prices of some of these.
Yeah.
Donald, if I remember correctly, wasn't Tuammore? Wasn't that where that haunted castle was?
I think it was close by. Yeah, we stayed in the castle. Do you remember the name of it? Kevin might have inadvertently given us a picture of it, but I'm not sure because I couldn't remember the name of the castle.
I do not.
So we have, let's see, castle. We have Castle Drummond. I don't think that's it. Cluntiakilla Castle. And then we have Irish Castle, just Irish Castle. So I'm not sure.
But what Charlottesville Castle Heritage.
Is that it?
Charlottesville Castle.
You know what? I think we got it here. Let's see if this is it. Kevin did grab a picture. That's it. This is it. It's right here on the screen. This is the one we went to. This is a weird thing. We did this so impromptu. We saw that there was a castle, and we drove up to it. I shit you not, because they didn't have the gates shut or anything. We drove through, we parked, and we knocked on the door and asked if they were doing tours. And they were so nice. They were like, "Oh, yes, we do tours. Normally we're done for the day, but how many of there are you?" And we're like, "Well, there's 3 of us." And they're like, "Okay, I guess we'll do one more tour for you if you'd like there. We can let you come in, you know, and look around." And so that's what we did. We walked through, and it's haunted as shit, but it's beautiful. It's a really cool
You saw a ghost?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the ghost of all these dead dogs just wandering outside. It's
so
terrible.
Sad.
I know, they just kept running through. They look so happy, though, the ghosts did. Who knows?
Well, you know what they say there? They say you come for the whiskey, but you stay for the suicidal ghost dogs.
So it's kind of creepy. On the right-hand side there in the picture, the left would be the left of the castle. There's a stairway that you go up to, and it's a really creepy, like, stairway. You, like, twisting tower stairs that you go up.
Yeah, if you're looking at the picture on the screen, it would be on the left side. Yeah, and that leads up to, I believe, where the dogs jumped. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Hey, what is going on in Ireland and Scotland with all these dog suicides?
Well, my mom thinks we're funny, so we're winning there. So this is the castle. Also, I did a photo shoot here, actually, where, if I recall, somebody took off all their clothes, and I just took photos of them next to trees and stuff, and then we had to hurry up and jump back in the car and take off.
That is correct. Yes, that's very much correct. Beautiful forestry around the castle.
Beautiful forestry. Yes. And I'm not talking about the model. I'm talking about the actual forest surrounding the castle.
Guys are interested in the photos? I can post a link to my Google photo album where you can see pictures of the castle.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, let us know. Again, in the Friends of the Real Short Box Facebook page. If you're not part of that, let us know that you'd like to be a part of that, and we will send you an invite on Facebook. Alex, I'm sorry. You really need to create that fake profile, buddy. Okay. Aiden says he's kissed the Blarney Stone.
Yeah, explain to me. What is the Blarney Stone? I've heard about it. What is it?
It's a stone at the castle there that you just kiss. It's part of the castle, and you just kiss it for good luck.
It's in Dublin, right? It's a castle.
It's in Dublin. Yeah. Yep, it's Castle Dublin. Okay, so there's that. All right. So getting back to it now, we've talked about locations and stuff. We've talked a little bit about whiskeys. We've talked a little bit about food, touched on that. We've talked about comic book characters. We've talked about Irish horror films. But what we really haven't touched upon too much yet is Irish actors. So I thought maybe we would take a moment to honor some of the finest actors besides Colm Meaney, who we all know and love and think is fantastic. Let's be real here. He's a great character actor who is far too often overlooked and should be represented, and was not in this one. So I'm just throwing that out there because we do appreciate him. Star Trek The Next Generation and a lot of the other films. He actually played a mobster once. He was pretty frightening in that because Colin can play that.
He's in that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia season.
Oh, is he? Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's in everything forever. Like, he's just...
I really need to see that. Yeah. Okay, so let's bring up some Irish actors, and we will talk about those.
Want to start with Liam Neeson?
We will talk about the man himself. I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. But I can tell you, if it's money you're looking for, I don't have any. But what I do have is a particular set of skills. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
And he meant it, too. He meant it.
Yep. And that was from the movie Taken, which restarted Liam's career, actually, in a new direction, new exciting direction, as Liam Neeson, the action star.
Weird.
Interesting, right?
Because before that,
he was Qui-Gon Jinn.
What was that, Chris?
Before that, he was Qui-Gon Jinn, but he was also, and everyone knows this by now, my favorite romantic comedy, Love Actually. And so he was also like the older aging 40-year-old like love interest sort of kind of like romantic comedy Ireland guy for a bit there too, besides Star Wars, and then it kind of took him in a different direction.
Yep. He was Rob Roy. He was Dark Man. He was Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, he's done a lot.
Aslan, the lion.
Yes, and let's not forget Kathy Ireland there, Alex. You're right. Yes, the woman's so great that they named their whole country after her. Yeah, that's how that worked. They named their country after her. Weird, right? So yeah, Liam Neeson. What is some of your guys in the chats here? What is some of your favorite Liam Neeson films? Anybody have any that they want to throw out? And meanwhile, I am going to talk, just mention briefly that I do really love Taken. That monologue I spoke was from Taken. But I also very much liked Dark Man because it was him at his cheesiest. When he was getting angry and losing his mind in the background, like broke in half and shattered, and you could see flames forming, and then he would break somebody's finger or something and be like, "Take the fucking elephant, the pink fucking elephant, you fucking deserve it." It's just so stupid and great. And Sam Raimi directed it, and I love almost everything that Sam Raimi's done. It was very, very exciting to see him play Dark Man, and also Bruce Campbell got to be in Dark Man 2 at the end, so that was great. Alex, yes, Pink Elephant. See, this guy's on top of shit. He knows.
I think his best performance was Schindler's List, personally.
Schindler's List.
Schindler,
I've never seen that. I've never seen Schindler's List.
You haven't seen the movie before?
No. See, Maria brings up a good one. She says The Gray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a small part in it, but he's a great part. Gangs in New York. He's pretty awesome in that.
Okay.
Actually, I think his best acting was that Ricky Gervais TV show Extras. That was his best stint of acting.
I go to the Green Grocers, and I can't do it because I tell them I have AIDS. What? We can't say that. Oh, but it's very topical right now. It's like very. He was amazing in that. You're right. That was really good. Hakeem brings up another one. He says Ice Road Truck, the Ice Road. Sorry, not Ice Road Truckers. That's
Ice Road Truckers. He was in that.
But he is an Ice Road Trucker in the Ice Road. So yes.
Okay.
I just watched that. I watched that on a plane. I believe I was headed to Ohio last year, and I watched it on my Fire tablet on the plane. It was pretty good. I didn't hate it, didn't love it, but I enjoyed it, and that's important. Okay, so Liam, Kevin, next.
How about Mr. Pierce Brosnan?
Pierce Brosnan. There he is. Mr. James Bond himself.
What's interesting, the first time I saw him was in the Lawnmower Man movie.
Really?
And then Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm sorry, that's not true. Remington Steele and then the Lawnmower Man.
Remington Steele.
Alex, you are correct. The best Bond. Die Another Day, one of the best Bond films around.
You know what? You need to have your head examined, sir.
Just suffered from some bad CGI, which is not his fault. He performed it perfectly. Halle Berry was great. Madonna was excellent. The villain was amazing. And it is one of the best James Bond openings you will ever see. And I challenge anybody to disagree because you're wrong.
Opening is cool. The opening's cool. But I don't know about the villain being one of the best.
It's amazing.
You're crazy, man.
Kevin, this opening was so cool. I had to stop you. You had your pants halfway down, and you started to pull things out, and I was like, Kevin, there's people around you. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, brother. I'm so sorry. I just got stuck in a moment.
About that, my friend. I think the very next
you got stuck in a moment, and you couldn't get out of it.
His best Bond movie is GoldenEye. GoldenEye is awesome. A great villain in 006.
That's about it.
Didn't GoldenEye win our our James Bond competition?
You know what? Maybe it did.
Did it?
Or it came pretty close. If it did, it came pretty close.
It was in the finals. I know that.
I think it was in the finals, but I don't think it won. But I could be wrong. Maybe it did.
Oh, shit.
Guys, pour it out. Get ready.
What's going on? Oh.
Drink, drink, drunk. Toasty. I hope everybody at home watching, in the replay, and right now in the live chat, is enjoying these drinks as much as us. Because let me tell you... What's that?
And we should make sure we give a little bit of warning. We are over the age of 21, so those of you at home who are not 21, don't try this at home.
Correct.
Well, you should have said that like an hour ago, Chris.
Well, they'll be pretty drunk by the time they see that warning, but at least it's out there. Also, don't do what Kevin did and in the middle of Die Another Day get so excited during the opening, your pants are halfway down, and you're trying to pull things out. You should not, because that is awkward.
GoldenEye has a great opening. That bungee jump, that's incredible. That is death-defying.
What are you drinking to? Maria says Donald's bad task in Bronson Bond movies.
I think she means taste.
Well, guess what? She's probably drunk, so that means she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Well, Donald, if it helps, I agree with you about Die Another Day.
Thank you. Ha-ha! Suck it! Sucky, sucky, suck it, suck it.
Did Donald just Venmo you some money or something? Did he just Venmo you some money?
No, I love that movie. I don't know.
Suck it.
I just thought something about the movie. I don't know. It has like sword fighting and it has an ice castle and I don't know. I just love it.
The invisible car, the concept is cool. The invisible car, the concept is cool. The villain was just ridiculous.
I also think Rosamund Pike is pretty cute in that movie. So
yeah, she was good.
Yeah. So that's Pierce Brosnan. Give us another one, Kevin.
How about Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. He is from Castleknock, Dublin, Ireland.
No shit. Wow. He couldn't be more Irish, could he?
Nope.
I bet he's done a lot of coke. Irish. I'm going to be real with you. We went to Dublin and everybody was doing coke. I mean, it's got to be the coke capital of the world. All the young kids were hopped up on coke. And they were like, what's the potato? And we were like, what the fuck are these people saying? What are they saying? We want to do a line off my arm right now. You know? And I was like, Jesus. At least that's how I remember it. Chris, do you remember it that way?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I remember the leprechauns going, get away from our gold.
Oh, no. That's racist.
So it was all that little noises you're making. It was a leprechaun swearing in Irish at you.
Possibly. I don't know. Maybe I had done the coke. I don't know. They probably put something in my meal.
So what I remember, only thing I remember from our time in Dublin is waiting on a train to go to an empty comic book store with you.
I didn't buy a thing.
That's all we did in Dublin.
It took us so long to find this comic shop because they had moved. And their new location, they said, oh, we're just up the hill. The guy had to stand out on the goddamn sidewalk and wave like this for us to see him. They were so far away from where their original place was, and we just kept walking. And we finally found it and went inside. It was all new books, and everything was in English. Because they spoke English. Nothing was in Gaelic, like I thought maybe something might freaking be. I don't know, because I was stupid, I guess. And they just sold new books and statues and shit. And I was so disappointed. that had taken us so long. We spent half a day finding the damn thing, and yeah, I didn't buy a thing from that place. I was so upset. But you know, we had a fun trip. It was fun to ride the train there. The trains in Dublin are great. Their train system's fantastic. The people there are very friendly normally, unless you're driving. They're very angry drivers in the city there in Dublin. They're very angry, particularly the people that don't know what the hell they're doing, which was me at the time. But they're very friendly when they're drunk, for sure. Very very friendly when they're sober, unless they're driving. The food is fantastic. Remember when we went to that place? It had Captain America, a neon sign of Captain America on the outside, and we walked past it, and then we went to this other little pub near it, so we could see it like in the window.
Yeah.
And I got stew, and I can't remember what you got, but I just kept getting
chips, I believe.
You did. I kept getting stew everywhere because I was just like, I love stew. Stew's my thing. Like, soups are my thing. I've always been a soup kind of guy. My parents raised me on a lot of soups. That's what I love. I love soups. They're great.
It was like you and I having nothing but gumbo in Louisiana in the middle of August.
And I loved it, see, because it's a soup. I was like, I'm in. Chris, this is great. We had po' boy sandwiches in New Orleans, too. But, yeah, and beignets, which Kevin would have loved. Jesus, Kevin would have busted a nut over that. But we very much loved the soups and the stews and stuff wherever we went, which is always good. Even when we were in Thailand, they had really good, curries and stuff like that, so we enjoyed those. Extremely hot, though. Good Lord. But very good. But yeah, overall, Dublin was a really fun place, and that's back to Colin Farrell. Sorry.
Well, you know what they say about Dublin. What they say about Dublin is you come for the cocaine, but you stay for the suicidal dogs.
Oh, come on. Jeez.
Sammy says Undine is an awesome movie. Hakeem says I met Colin Farrell while shopping in Whole Foods in Tarzana. That's awesome. I bet you didn't know he'd be the Penguin then, did you? Alex says Chris was on cocaine at the time, so he forgot. That makes sense. And Sammy says, yum, beignets. And my mom's laughing.
First time I saw Colin Farrell was in Minority Report.
He was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good.
Great actor. Great actor.
He played Bullseye in that Daredevil movie with Benji Affleck.
Ugh. Where they gave him the scar in his head, and then comic guys used that forever. I hated that.
Yep.
Chris, I'm pulling up a picture right now of Galloway, so everybody can see. It's another fisherman town, another seaside town, but on the opposite side of where Doolin is, if I'm correct. Or like more... Doolin was more...
It's northwest a little bit.
Yeah.
Of Doolin. You kind of go around the coast north.
Yep. So I'm going to knock these off here. And Galway, let's see. We went there for the music, if I recall.
We went there for the music, but went there at like a weird time. And there was like a festival or something, so it was really super busy, so we didn't really do much.
Right.
We were also only there for like a night.
We were only there, literally for one night.
I think we went to a tavern, and then we went the next day to buy luggage to go home.
Yep. Yeah,
we went to what was like a Irish version of a TJ Maxx.
Yes, I remember that. That's because you needed a luggage, and you ended up with a big book bag thing, like a big.
It was like a duffel bag, like a plaid duffel bag.
Huge ass duffel bag. I remember that, and I bought like a Guinness little backpack, like side messenger bag type thing. And a sweater. I bought a sweater and stuff. So yeah, we had a decent time there. You know, we enjoyed ourselves. I remember we ate there, and I had like this fried chicken thing with cheese in the middle or something. It was very tasty, and a little soup on the side. Gotta get that soup, guys. And there was even a place called McKinney in Ireland, if I recall, and we drove past it because it said McKinney Post Office, and I was like, guess what? I own that because that's my last name. So.
There's also a McKinney, Texas. You know that?
Yes, I know that. I own that too, and McKinney Trucking Company, which I also own.
Yeah, trucking company. Yep. And there's also McKinney Family Crest.
Yes, I'm going to pull it up right now. Irish crests is what we're going to end on here for the evening, I think, gentlemen. So we're going to start out with Galante, if I recall, has a crest. So we're going to pull up Galante, which is Jarrett's last name. Let's see if I can find it. Chris, what was the name of that generic McDonald's that we ate at in Ireland? It wasn't called McDonald's. Do you remember?
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember it either. But it wasn't McDonald's for sure, but it was sure tasted like it. Here's the Galante crest. Looks like a cock, like a big rooster.
Sounds about right.
Am I wrong? It really does. It couldn't look more British, to be honest.
That might be a game hen.
Yeah, it could be. With the suit of armor, with another hen on top of the suit of armor. It's very interesting. So that's Galante. And let's see. Turner, Chris's last name. So let's look up Turner. That's pretty Irish, right, Chris?
Well, yeah, we're Scotch Irish.
The Turner family crest. This one's pretty cool too, I will say.
A pretty cool cat on it.
You get some shamrocks here. You've got 3 shamrocks, and you've got a nice suit of armor and a lot of feathers, it looks like, and leaves.
Yeah, the Irish version. If you go to the English version, it's the same colors, but instead of shamrocks, it's a lion.
Oh, that's also cool.
Yeah.
So this is what I found out through my family, and I'm going to share this with everybody here watching. My last name is McKinney, and the McKinney family, if I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, Mom and Dad, but my great-grandfather was adopted, and he was not originally McKinney, so he took on the name of his adopted family. So we are technically not McKinneys. But the McKinney crest is pretty cool. This is not quite the McKinney crest that's normal for what I would be talking about normally. This is a different version, so this is a different McKinney. But it's still pretty cool. You get some crowns. So this is a pretty royal McKinney. So McKinney's, this type of McKinney clan is pretty royal. So there's a lot of royalty in my blood. So you might want to call me your lordship or lord. Sir, at least. I think is probably good to do.
Viceroy. How about Viceroy?
Drink to Irish crest, says Alex. We will do that. He also says to look up the Banchita crest. Banchitta. Kevin, if you want to do that, go ahead and look it up. And then you can show it to the screen maybe while I'm doing this. Before we were McKennies, though, we were on my grandfather's side, we were Reynolds. That crest looks like this. This is an Irish crest. This is a cool one. Talk about a big royal regal lion right in the middle, right smack in the middle. This is definitely something that really draws me to it because I am an August baby, early August. I'm a Leo. I run hot. I get temperamented. I get a little bit of a temper sometimes. So that happens with lions, the pride of the jungle, the king of the jungle, things like that. Again, king, royalty. You can call me your lordship, your lord.
What does the stag at top mean?
That
part Baratheon.
Yeah, that stag at the top means that we're very horny. So there's that.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I don't know. Next is on my grandmother's side, which was O'Sullivan. And I know this might be boring for some people, or it might be cool. I don't know. I find history of people's families and stuff and tracing it back very cool. The O'Sullivan one is something special. Look at this. This one has what I believe, Kevin, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it has the stag again. It also has lions. It has 2 lions with a sword in the middle, surrounded by a snake. I couldn't be more Slytherin in this. And a wild boar, if I'm recalling, if I see that correctly. Is that correct?
It has all 4 of the houses.
Yeah, it looks like I am basically the Game of Thrones. So again, royalty, your lordship, your lord, master, whichever you prefer to call me, that's fine. And there's a bird on top that's eating what looks like to be 3 leaves. 3 leaves is known for being well endowed.
Looks like a robin.
I don't know. That's what that means. Every crest brags about certain things. I don't know. It's ridiculous, but they do. And robin is not the state bird of Ohio, but robin should be the state bird of Ohio because we have a lot of robins in Ohio.
Are they friendly?
There's that.
There's also a lot of people robbing in Ohio.
Yes, true. And one more time, because we're pulling up the crest. Kevin, did you pull up the Vankita crest on your phone?
I did find it on my computer.
Oh, all right.
We'll try to email it to you.
Actually, are you able to see me?
Yeah.
Okay, I only, because I was looking at McKinney's stuff, and it's just crazy. So this little guy's name, there you go. Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
That dog's name was McKinney, and sadly he killed himself last night and died. So the second drink should be to that poor McKinney.
Alex, is this it here, buddy? Is this the?
That's it. That's the one.
Is this the Vankita crest? Well, I want to make sure he knows for sure.
Yeah, that's the picture.
That's pretty cool. Nice suit of armor with some like chains on it and shit, and a crown. That is lordship, dude. Wow. Look at you. Oh, this one has lobster. Oh, look at that. So depending upon the time, because you have lobster in the middle, that could mean that you have expensive taste, or it could also mean that you like dirt mongers that eat stuff off the bottom of the ocean. And I'm not sure which was which. I'm assuming it meant royalty back then, like in that time. That would make sense because of the crown and stuff. But I know here in the U.S., lobsters didn't have that connotation of royalty or expensive taste until later, and that's after the Civil War period and stuff.
There you go. You get it also on my.
You had no idea there was a Vankita. He didn't even know. He was kidding. He had no idea there was a Vankita crest. Well, there is, buddy, and it looks like there's a lobster in it, my friend.
Also got part of my background too.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. We lost Jarrett, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. We just lose people. Let me see if he's with us. No, he's not with us. He's totally out. So, and we're after time anyway. We've talked long enough. Anybody in the chats have anything they want to say before we log off for the evening? I guess we need to do the crest toast here, Chris. Alex learned something new. That's great. And Jarrett said goodbye to everybody. He lost power. His whole block is out, so he is done.
Oh no!
For the evening. So here we go, gentlemen. To all of you, may all of you have winding roads back and there again, into which your pot is always full of quite a lot of hen. Now when you drink, I hope it's fun. I hope you quite enjoy. But when it's all said and done, I hope it's a baby boy? I don't know. I got nothing. Sorry.
That you enjoy?
Well, I rhymed it again with joy. I can't say that twice. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So, anyway. Good night, guys. Thank you for being a part of the Real Short Box. Again, my name is Donald. That's Kevin.
Kevin.
I'm drunk. Chris.
And that's Drunk Chris. And we hope you have a good evening. And thank you for tuning in and listening to the Real Short Box. Real quick before we go, I just want to mention something really quickly. Let me just mention it really quickly. As I do this shot, I just want to tell you all how much I love you. And how sexy I think all you sons of bitches are. And how, if I could, I would be with all of you right now. Just giving you a big hug. Telling you how beautiful you are. How much everybody in the world loves you. How much Kevin loves you. How much Chris loves you. Not Jarrett, though. He's gone. How much I love you. So thank you for tuning in for the Real Short Box. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps, maybe,
we'll see you at the amusing, amazing, golden, and sometimes expensive comic book shop.
Good night, everybody. You sexy bitches, you.
Ah.